6-7, day 2. This is a practice on simple interest. Should have already seen some notes or watched a video about our friend IPERT or IPART, where again it's interest, principal, the rate as a decimal, and time has to be in years. So we're going to go over one example like we saw yesterday or on the previous notes when we talk about this, where it says find the simple interest. So anytime it says that, I'm going to bring back our friend IPERT, IPART. As we're looking at that, zooming on in, just start plugging in what we know. The principal, $200. The rate, which needs to be a decimal. Don't plug a 3 in. Go bump, bump. So make sure you put in 0.03 times your time, which has to be in years. Time in years. Once you've got that, that will be your interest. Again, grab that, type it into your calculator very carefully. And do not make a mistake, as I have done in class, as I have done taking notes. Double check to make sure you've got the right amount of zeros. 200 times 0.03, aka 300th times 5. That says that your interest is 30. If you want to put that here in the little blank, you can. Interest is $30, which is great. Now it says, what's the balance of the account? What's the balance going to be after the 5 years? Remember, your balance is just the principal, the amount of money you started with, plus your interest. So we're just going to take that $200 that we started with and add it to the 30. I know that's mental math we can do, but please write it out so that way we can remember that this balance is going to come out to be $230, the amount of money you'll have at the end of 5 years, or the amount of money you will have paid back after the 5 years. These first four are all similar to that, just like the notes we covered yesterday or previously, whether you watched them or were in class. Now, these are the ones we're going to really focus in on today, finding something different. So on number 6, we're going to go find an interest rate. Notice this, again, doesn't quite look like a small I, but I would be using that. So our friend IPERT, IPART. Now you start plugging in things. Well, we know the interest. This one's different. Everyone say different. When we're looking at this, it's different because now we're told the interest. So we need to put in $164.50 for interest. The principal is $940. There is no rate, so I'm going to leave that as R. And then the time is 2.5 years. Remember, everything over here on the right side is touching, so it's being multiplied. We can use the property to switch the multiplying out and multiply those quick. In the calculator, again, watch the numbers so you get that correct. There's this. You've got the $164.50 on this side. And solve by getting rid of the number, the coefficient in front of the letter, the variable. Type that into your calculator very carefully. And remember, when you're done, you get a decimal. That's what R equals. So tell me now, 0.07, 7/100ths. What interest rate, what percent is that? We got to take and move this bump, bump, to make it a 7% interest. All we're going to do is we're going to take our friend IPERT, IPART, the interest formula, plug it on in, multiply things over here. Since everything's being multiplied, we can just multiply in any order, and then divide on out. We'll do the same thing as we turn the page. We're going to look at number 8. Now it says find the amount of time. How do I find the amount of time? Well, if we got an interest, a principal, and a rate, it sounds like we need our friend. Let's do it on number 8 over here. It's going to be great. IPERT, IPART, bring it back. Yes, you must write it down. 1, I told you so. 2, it's worth a point. 3, you'll help remember the formula. And 4, it's going to help you get the right answer because now you see the interest. Plug it on in. Equals the principal, 1,450, times the rate, which has got to be a decimal. So lose the percent sign, bump, bump. And then there is no time, so just leave it as T. Clean it up. take these two terms, those two numbers, and multiply them. Again, watch the decimal, watch the zero, make sure you've got them in the right spot. Divide it on out. Leave the 174, start by multiplying it out. And then you're left with t over here. Divide both sides by that coefficient, divide by 116, and we get 1.5. 1.5 equals t. Put a label on that. Remember, time has to be in years. Everyone say years. Time is in years. So whether it's 1.5, 1.5 years, if it gave you just 0.5, you could call it 0.5 years or switch it over to months if need be. But really, remember, your time is going to be in years. Now quickly, just a reminder down here, when it says find the amount you paid for the loan, that's just a way to ask, what's the balance? So on number 10 and number 11, make sure you find the balance, not just the simple interest. So not just I equals PRT, not just I part. Make sure you find that simple interest.